Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing yet another NBA mock draft. Now there has been a change inside the top 5 in terms of draft order. However, there has not been a change in terms of which prospects go off the board at which point. Also, revamped my big board a little bit, so we're going to be looking at all that and more in today's video, including a full lottery mock draft. So make sure you stick around till the end of the video, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below if you disagree with one of the picks that I make, especially for your favorite team if you have some insight that I don't. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Looking at the Detroit Pistons, who completely tanked this year, and they get rewarded. Now, I did not sim the lottery. Of course, we will get a much better picture of where things will go on May 16th when the lottery happens, but right now we got Victor Wembenyama going first overall to the Detroit Pistons, the greatest prospect we've ever seen. He's just insane, an unreal blend of scoring, defense, offense, whatever you want, this man can do it, and he's 7'5". He'll be one of the tallest, if not the tallest player in the NBA when he enters next year. We've quite literally never seen a player like him, and I like the fit to the Pistons. You've got Cade Cunningham already. I would like the fit to the Hornets as they've already got LaMelo Ball, but I don't want him to go to a team like the Spurs or the Rockets that don't have playmakers. We've already seen Jalen Green be vocal. The Rockets need a point guard this year, so we'll see if they address that later in today's video. At the number 2 overall pick, we have the San Antonio Spurs going out and selecting Scoot Henderson. In most other drafts, Scoot would be the number 1 guy. The dude is an absolute monster, but he is by far the number 2 player in the class. The big question mark about the top 3 is if there is a bigger gap between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. Scoot and Victor Wembenyama have really distanced themselves. Scoot's an absolute franchise point guard, and I am willing to die on that hill. He is a fantastic player, second best player in the class. He's going to go right in to San Antonio. He's going to, the end of the Greg Popovich era, but now they'll have Scoot. They'll have Trey Jones coming off the bench. They'll have Vassell. They'll have Keldon Johnson. They'll have, well, they traded Jakob Poeltl, but they'll have Malachi Branham. A lot of guys in San Antonio that they could turn into something. Now with number 3, we have the Houston Rockets, and they're going to be getting their franchise point guard, which means that, yes, Brandon Miller has slipped down out of the top 3. Amin Thompson, an insane athlete, great length at 6'7", about 200 pounds, and the dude is just an absolute freak of nature. I mean, I've never quite seen a guy like this, so athletic. He's the perfect franchise point guard. Great defender. The three-point shot needs some work. His twin is a little bit better of a three-point shot than he does, but I mean, overall, he just projects out as a fantastic prospect. Going to the Rockets, like we said, the Rockets need a point guard, so they're going to get him there. Now, with the 4th overall pick, we have my Charlotte Hornets, and I'm going to have them go out and get Brandon Miller. The second best shooter in this class, only behind Grady Dick. And yes, I get it, he has legal trouble. He'd fit right in with the Hornets and Miles Bridges. But this dude is just an absolute pure scorer. We've seen it at Bama. Not worried about him in the NCAA tournament. Freshmen usually don't do very well there. But overall, I would love to see him in Charlotte because you have not only Brandon Miller, but hopefully Miles Bridges is back. You have Mark Williams as your center of the future. PJ Washington, Kelly Oubre hopefully are back. And then you've also got Mark Williams at center. I would love it. Now, with the 5th overall pick, this is what we were talking about. We have the Portland Trailblazers in the lottery, in the top 5. And I have the Portland Trailblazers going out and getting Azur Thompson, the twin of Amin. More of a 2-guard, though. Same length, same crazy athleticism that I would love to see in Portland. You play Shadon Sharpe and Azur Thompson on the court at the same time. That's insane. There are some potential for some highlight dunks. So you got those two with Anthony Simons, whoever's down low. I mean, they got Jeremy Grant. They'll still have Dame technically. I don't know how much longer for, however. But Azur Thompson going to the Blazers. So now with the 6th overall pick in the NBA draft, we have the Orlando Magic up, and from what I've been hearing from Magic fans, they really like Grady Dick. So if you can pick up Grady Dick, put him in with this young core, Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz at the 1, Markelle will probably be the starting point guard, Franz Wagner, and Jonathan Isaac at the 3, and then Paulo Bobo, maybe Chuma at the 4, Wendell Mo Wagner at the 5. Really all you're missing is shooting guard and shooting help. So Grady Dick to the Orlando Magic there. Now at 7 we have the Indiana Pacers, who now, with Azor Thompson falling all the way down to 7, they get the luxury of drafting him. Super athletic, great defender, can shoot it a little bit, but he can come in and play small forward alongside of Benedict Mathurin and Tyrese Halliburton, and boom, you've got 3 6'7" in your starting lineup that can all defend and are very athletic. So there's Azor at 7 to the Pacers. Now at 8 we have the Washington Wizards taking their franchise point guard with Kason Wallace here out of Kentucky. That's what the Magic have been needing ever since really John Wall left. I mean, I know they had that year of Westbrook, but still, none of these guys are going to be your franchise point guard. Bradley Beal's only getting older. There's not that much around him other than Kristaps, Kyle Kuzma. Don't even know if Kyle Kuzma's going to return. So they need to bring in their franchise point guard, and it's going to be Kason Wallace out of Kentucky. Now at 9, we have the Utah Jazz, and they get the luxury of now taking the best player available in this draft, and that is going to be Cameron Whitmore out of the University of Villanova. Very athletic, big body type wing, averaged about 13.5 points per game this year at Villanova, and man, he can get off the ground, so he's going to be going to the Utah Jazz. Now at 10, we have the Dallas Mavericks, who the rumors are already out. Well, not even rumors. They're not expected to bring back Christian Wood, so they're going to need front court help. A guy that can shoot the 3 a little bit, that can play defense, that can get to the rim. Taylor Hendricks at 6'9" out of UCF, the freshman forward, is a guy that checks all those boxes. So he's going to the Dallas Mavericks. I know we're moving a little quick here, but we got to go through an entire first round, so I don't want to keep you guys too long. Now, at 11, we have the Orlando Magic, and they're going to go out and get yet another guy that can really shoot it. A little bit more athletic than Grady Dick, but not quite as tall. So they're going to go out and get Jordan Hawkins, who just won a national championship at UConn. And if they get Grady Dick and Jordan Hawkins in the same draft, that'd be huge for the Magic. 2 win-now type guys to help that playoff push. Now at 12, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they're going to go out and select kind of what they did last year, a older wing. I mean, he's not that much older, from the West Coast Conference in Maxwell Lewis, 6'7", out of Pepperdine. Again, only a sophomore, averaged about 17 points on good efficiency. Started the year great, then kind of cooled off. People say, if his year was flipped, if his start was, or if his end was where his start was, and his start was where his end is, he'd be a top 5 pick. That probably didn't make any sense at all. But you get what I'm saying. If he flipped his season around, he would probably be close to a top 5 pick. So the Oklahoma City Thunder going to go out and get Maxwell Lewis, the 6'7" wing, out of the West Coast Conference. Now, at 13, we have the Orlando Magic, and they're going to go out and get a guy that I feel like just fits that Raptors mold of big wings that can score a little bit and play defense. Although I didn't play too much defense last year at Michigan, but that will be Jet Howard out of Michigan University. Averaged about 14 points, and he'll fit in really nicely with that Raptors team on the wing. Now, at 14, we have the New Orleans Pelicans, and what do the Pelicans really need? Maybe an insurance policy if Zion gets hurt. So, honestly, that's why I'm leaning Chris Murray here. He's the most win-now player. The Pelicans are looking to make a playoff push. Larry Nance is there, but he's getting older. E.J. Liddell's there, but he's coming off an ACL injury. I guess Trey Murphy could play the 4. But we're going to bring in a guy that's about 6'8", 6'9". His brother is a proven talent in the NBA already as a rookie, even though his Kings did lose. So we're going to go Chris Murray there to the New Orleans Pelicans. Now at 15, we have the Atlanta Hawks. And honestly, the Hawks need backup forward depth as well, although I expect them to bring back Jalen Johnson. He'll be the backup 4 next year behind John Collins. You got A.J. Griffin, DeAndre Hunter, Sadiq Bey at the 3. Really, you need a 2. I mean, although DeJounte Murray starts at the 2. So probably guard depth is what they need. So we'll go out and pick up Bryce Sensabaugh. He can come in and play the backup 2 for them. Very efficient guy out of Ohio State. Now at 16, we have the Utah Jazz. And I'm going to have them go out and take a swing on a guy that can become their franchise point guard in Anthony Black. He has fallen pretty far in this draft, all the way to 16. Keontae George has fallen pretty far as well. But I'm going to go Anthony Black here to the Utah Jazz, a guy they can go out. He can be their point guard of the future. Of course, they have Colin Sexton on that long-term contract, but Anthony Black, he's going to take some developing. He's a bit of a raw prospect, so that's why we're going to have the Jazz go with him and develop him into that long-term point guard. Now at 17, we have the LA Lakers, a team that making a little run here in the NBA playoffs. And what do they need? Probably another wing that could score it. So we're going to go out and get them. We're going to get them Dariq Whitehead. There's not really another win now wing other than Jordan Miller, and you can trade back and get him. So we're going to go Dariq Whitehead. Going to pick him up. He can be a guy that can sit back and develop a little bit, and in a few years can be an absolute monster for them. Remember, he was the number 1 recruit in this class before injuries derailed his freshman season. Now at 18, we have the Miami Heat. And what do they need? Picture of Jimmy's hilarious. Victor Oladipo is probably going to be out for a little while. So that leaves Tyler Hero as their only 2 right now. Max Strus can flex over. Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent are there, but Gabe Vincent is a free agent. So I'm thinking guard help, which is why I'm going to go get Jalen Hood-Schifino for them, the freshman out of Indiana. Very, very talented, who falls all the way down to 18, right into the Miami Heat's lap. He can be their backup plan for both Kyle Lowry and Gabe Vincent's expiring contract. So Jalen Hood-Schifino there. Now at 19, we have the Golden State Warriors. And Derek Lively would be a cool pick here because he can rebound, protect the rim, kind of like Kevon Looney. But I'm going to go out and get Keontae George for them. I mean, he's just fallen too far. He's a guy that can create a little bit, kind of like Jordan Poole. Probably a lottery talent, but he, for whatever reason, he just fell down the board in this mock draft. So we're going to have Keontae George going to the Warriors there. Kind of a no-brainer. Now at 20, we have the Houston Rockets. And here I feel like they kind of have a chance to take a chance on a guy. And so we're going to go out and get Ryan Rupert, I believe is how you pronounce it, even though there's an extra A in there, out of, I don't know what league he's in France. I believe he's in the same league. No, he's in the NBL. So yeah, he's going to come over from the NBL. He can develop for a couple of years, and then they can decide what they want to do with him. But they're in a spot here where they have a lot of picks over the next couple of years, so they can take a flyer on a guy from overseas. Now, at 21, we have the Brooklyn Nets, and they can take best player available here, and it's by far Nick Smith Jr. with the most potential on the board. Just because he got hurt, I'm not going to hold that against him. They could definitely use some point guard or some two-guard help, especially if they just refuse to play Cam Thomas. And if Dinwiddie's not going to be that great. So we're going to go out and get Nick Smith Jr. for them. Now at 22, they're back on the clock. And we'll go out and we'll get another scoring guard for them. I don't know if Kobe Buffkin's going to be a point guard at the next level. Same thing with Nick Smith Jr. But we'll go out and we'll get Kobe Buffkin from Michigan for them. Good scorer with both hands. Really came on towards the end of the year. Some people were saying he could be a lottery pick, but he will go here at 22 to the Brooklyn Nets. Now at 23, we have the Portland Trail Blazers, and this one is kind of a no-brainer for me. They're going to go out and get Derek Lively because they need some big man help in a bad way. He can rebound, defend. Perfect pick for the Blazers. 24, we have the Sacramento Kings, and what do they need? Honestly, just some more wing depth, probably. I mean, Harrison Barnes is not getting any younger. They could also probably use another center or another big. But in this case, we're going to have him go out and get Jordan Miller, a win-now type guy out of Miami. I'm very high on Jordan Miller after his NCAA tournament run. Now at 25, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. And what do they need? They probably need another point guard because Tyus Jones is going to be a free agent, I believe, next year. And potentially they could be trading his expiring contract. They have done that in the past. So they'll go out, they'll get Isaiah Wong out of Miami, another guy that I was very impressed with during that tournament run. I've just seen him cook up the ACC for the last couple of years. I think he's going to be, I really believe he's going to be a great NBA player. Now at 26, we have the Indiana Pacers once again. And here I'm going to have them go out and take G.G. Jackson, a guy they can kind of develop into what they want him to be at about 6'9", 6'10", out of South Carolina. Very inefficient, but the raw talent is there. The intangibles are there. Indiana's not exactly looking to make a playoff push next year. I mean, they could, but they got some time to develop some talent, and if G.G. Jackson pans out, that'd be a huge get for them. Now we have my Charlotte Hornets here at 27, and we can't take the hometown kid because there's already so many young guards on this team. So we're going to take a somewhat older forward. Actually, just kidding. We're going to take Dylan Mitchell here out of the University of Texas. Guy that we can try and develop into an elite defender on the wing. We just lost Jalen McDaniels, so now we're going to take a flyer on Dylan Mitchell. Hopefully he can develop into that elite defender on the wing that we've been missing. 28, we have the Utah Jazz. They're going to go out. Now they'll take a flyer on Terquavion Smith. He's just fallen too far in this draft. Averaged about 17 points, 4 assists this year for NC State. He'll be a good get for the Jazz, and he can fit right in there and develop a little bit under that Jazz system. Now at 29, we have the Indiana Pacers. Once again, this time I'm going to have them go out and get Jalen Wilson. So if G.G. Jackson doesn't work out, then they have Jalen Wilson as the backup plan. But he is more of a win-now player, so maybe they plug in Jalen Wilson early and then let G.G. Jackson develop. I don't know what they'll do, but I do know that with the 30th pick, the LA Clippers are on the clock, and we'll have them take a flyer here on a guy that was a surefire lottery pick just a couple of years ago in this draft, and that is Imani Bates. So yeah, that's going to be my draft. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Full first round draft because, of course, it is the first day of May. Every day, first day of the month, we're doing a full first round draft. And then every Wednesday, basically, we'll be doing a lottery mock draft. So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you leave me a comment and come back later for more. But yeah, with all that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.